it's me Emily. Today I'm going to work on my beaches. I just think that the beaches are so hard to do because a lot of my normal decorating techniques aren't possible. I mean, I think all I know how to do is make waterfalls, and then space is quite limited. Oh, look at Sly. Oh, I don't mind him interrupting. He's a really good friend on my island. Anyway, let's head down and I'll show you where I'm going to work. So I want to fix up this really long section of beach, and I guess that the goal for today is just to have it all flow together. I don't want it to feel like several different builds. I want to try and make something that connects the whole beach. The first idea I have is to make a bee garden. I've been waiting on Flick to visit me for a while so that I can grab a bee model, and so now I have it, I can finally do this area. Whilst I do pathing, please let me thank you all so much for 1,000 subscribers. I hit it just before my last video went up, but it was already edited, so this is my first chance to really talk and thank you. This just feels like such a huge milestone for me, and it's really more than I ever expected, and I genuinely appreciate anyone who watches and supports me. You all make me really happy, so yeah, I guess I just wanted to say how much it means and thank you. For a colour scheme, I'm choosing mainly brown and white furniture, and then I'll probably use yellow as an accent. I think this area won't be any particular aesthetic. I just don't really want to worry about a theme as the beach is already hard enough for me, but yeah, I'll see if I can make it look okay. Where I'm digging holes is basically to help me visualize where I'll be placing flowers. I really struggle to just leave a blank gap, so having the hole there makes it easier. And then I try not to add flowers until I'm closer to the end because I hate how sometimes I try to pick up an item and instead it plucks the flower. It's so frustrating. Sometimes I'll try not to use flowers on the beach at all because if you run over them they don't grow back on sand, so it's kind of a pain to have to change them out. But so long as I make a clear pathway, I think it should be fine, and I'm not planning to run on my beaches very often or anything. I'm out of white cosmoses. That feels like a crime, but I guess I'll just steal them from here and then I'll plant more whenever Leaf visits. Okay, awesome. A bee garden will definitely need a lot of flowers, so I'm going to be adding these all over. And then I think we can go very custom design heavy on this build. By the way, if you ever see a code I use that you want, just leave me a comment and I will find it for you. One of the easiest space fillers is some fencing. I've been really loving the log fencing such a lot, but I do wish it was customizable. The custom fencing, it's so great, but then it's really weird that some of them can't be changed, and imagine what we could do with, for me, I would love a pastel pink log fence, or I could make so many very cool areas with that. Or if there was a white one, I feel like white fencing in this build would also probably look really good, but luckily the log fence colour is nice and neutral, so I feel like it's going to work with the colours I've got going on anyway, so it should still be good. I'm going to add a whole bunch of of weeds, and whenever you see me drop a weed and then I pick it back up, it's because I'm really specific on exactly what type of weed I want. So sometimes when you plant it you get a tall one but I want it to be flat, or I get a flat one and I want it to be tall, so I have to pick it up and drop it back down a few times until I get what I'm after. I'm going to start adding in my next pathing. I think that by using this brown 9-tile path, hopefully it will help bring the build together, because what I struggle with is I really struggle to just make one whole section, so I'm kind of doing a few different builds would be my idea. So I've done the bee area. I think I'm going to make a cafe next, but we'll see. But if I do a cafe next, I still want it to tie in and really flow together. But I think by having different builds within this big build, it will still help me come up with ideas, because otherwise I get so stuck and I don't know what to do at all. For this build, I feel like the white tulip is really perfect because it's not a bright white, it's kind of a cream, and so I feel like it works as a way to kind of blend all the flower colours together, because some of them are a really bright white and then I've got yellow, and then the tulip is kind of halfway in between, which I love. I'm going to use the bistro table, which has become a very recent obsession for me. It's not been a favourite item of mine for a long time, but recently I started using it, and I feel like especially on the beach it is just so perfect. The wedding chair has some of the prettiest variants, so if you don't like the pink and white, and to be fair I think that the pink and white is awesome, but it's more for a brighter area, whereas because I'm not really using any pink in this build I feel like it wouldn't have matched as well. But yeah, if you don't like the pink and white you can get it made green, and there is one more but I can't remember what it looks like. I think it's maybe a gold one, but Yeah, the green one, I think it's the garden variant, and it is so good. I really like it. I'm using the socks, and you can place them down and then you can still run over them, so it doesn't make it difficult to walk through, which I really love. But I'm using them because I adore the idea that a villager has gone to the beach and then taken off their shoes and socks before going for a swim. I just think that that is such a cute idea. I added in a whole bunch more fencing, and then I'm going to start using some flowers again. I'm using so many custom designs. I know I already said that it was going to be custom design heavy, but yeah, I really do think that maybe, especially on the beach, a little custom design underneath helps a lot, particularly because I can't use the in-game pathing, so I really have to make sure that the custom designs are kind of pulling their weight for me. And I've got this destination signpost, but for whatever reason I can't center it on that circular path. My dog has just knocked some books over, so if you heard that, I do apologise. She can't help it. But yeah, so because I couldn't center it, I'm putting down 2 custom designs, and then that let me center it in the middle of them, so I think that it looks a bit better like that. And we are finally now adding in our more pathing, because I want to get onto the 3rd section. Okay, let me just fill in these gaps that I left for flowers. I grabbed some hyacinths. I actually picked up so many hyacinths last time that Leaf came to visit me because I am really running out of flowers on this island. And then I've got this kind of weird gap between the 2 paths, so I think here is where I will add in my glowing moss. I think we are now ready to move on to the 3rd and what will most likely be the final section of this build, because I've not got that much space left. I have less of an idea though for what I want to make, so I've got a kind of very small cafe or at least seating area going on, and then I've got my honeybee and like beekeeping zone. I think the 3rd area we can just kind of fill in, see what works, try to just make something. But yeah, I'm not really sure what I want to do. I am already pretty much fully decided that I'm going to use my book custom design somewhere in this build. You'll see it whenever I do it, but yeah, I really want to use the book. I've not used it that much on my island, and I think it should look really nice if I can fit it in here. The tree standee has so quickly become one of my favourite and probably most used items, which is really weird, but basically I do a playlist and like a series on shorts, which is daily, and I do builds in a 4x4 tile space. So because I have to come up with quite a lot of ideas, I end up using items that I would never think to use. And I can't even remember where I would have first used it, but I used the tree standee in one of those builds, and then I realised how cute it is and how much I liked it. Oh, I'm not sure if I love how the coconut tree is looking. It's a bit too vibrant compared to how the rest of the build seems to be. I might just dig it back up. I'm not a fan. But yeah, I ended up using the tree standee, and now I really love it, and I've used it in quite a few points on my island. Time for more pathing. Can I say, when I first saw the 9-tile path, not this one, but like the 9-tile path in general, I really didn't like it. I think I'd only just got the game, so I wasn't really into decorating yet, but yeah, I didn't like it as much as the in-game pathing, and on my first island I didn't use it at all. But then after some burnout on my 2nd island, I started a jungle theme and decided to use it, and it literally brought the island to life, and now I can't imagine doing an island without it. And then I guess no surprise here, but I really want to use a cruiser bike. I've been using this I've been using this item such a lot because it just works as a really good space filler, and it's quite thin, and I can just order a whole bunch of them on the Nook shopping. It's weird because I really love the item, but I don't like riding bikes at all. I find it scary and I feel like I'm gonna get hit. It might be because I live in London, but I didn't learn in London, I learned back home, which is not in London, so I learned on quiet roads, but at least now living in London, I find the idea of riding a bike quite scary, so I don't really do it. And Teddy and Sly were so obsessed with me this whole video, they kept on getting in the way. And here I was just trying to get down some pathing, trying to make this island nice for all of us to enjoy, and all Teddy wants, he doesn't want to help me out, he just wants a new catchphrase. I'm making him say change up, which is a little K-pop reference. I don't know if anyone is gonna know it. Ooh, did you guys hear that? A car just beeped so loudly outside my window. That was scary. But anyway, hopefully you guys didn't hear it. Sometimes my mic is weird and it wants to pick things up, and then other times it doesn't pick it up as at all, but I don't mind giving Teddy a catchphrase. I'm only complaining because I was filming, but really I love him, so he can have any catchphrase he wants. Let's add some more fencing. Of course, I've got to put down some kind of a custom design underneath it, a sparkle or a little log plank, anything that I can make work will help. Just add some definition, I feel. Yeah, I just really like how it looks when you put down a custom design underneath items. It really helps. I feel like this video is very quickly becoming just a compilation of all my favourite items and talking about them, but can we just take a minute to really appreciate the mushroom furniture, specifically the mush log? It's just so nice. You can customize it to fit your island a bit better, so I customized it to have white mushrooms, and yeah, I just really love it. Also guys, I just wanted to bring attention to the new intro and outro pictures and a new profile picture which should hopefully be up by the time that this video goes out. I got these made by Adrian ACNH on Instagram and I've been so in love. The little toys that my character is holding are inspired by my real life pets. So we've got Shadow, who is the grey cat, Custard is in the middle, and then my little pug Bumble too. I'm so happy with it and I just can't wait to use this artwork. I think I'm now ready to bring the rest of this pathing up to kind of finish out the 9-tile path that I want to use on the build. I've tried to make it have a really nice flow throughout the whole area in hopes that when I run, I hopefully, fingers crossed, won't trample all my flowers, but we'll never know for sure. But hopefully it shouldn't happen and it should be fine and I will stick to the path and we'll have no issues. I'm going to get some of these planks down, just kind of going to the right, and then I think we can make a seating area, so I'll use the swinging bench and place it right here. The swinging bench is just really nice. I feel like I love it because when you have friends over, you can both sit on the bench at the same time and it makes good photos. Plus I really like it right here because you can sit on it and look out into the ocean and it'll be really nice. Shall we give some love to the hyacinth lamp for a second? It's so nice. I actually have a story about hyacinth lamps, so I think to craft them, you have to craft them in the purple flowers, and then you can customize them to be blue or yellow. But I was doing a trade once on Nookazon, like right when the game and Nookazon kind of had first started getting big, so not recently, but yeah, I was doing a trade, and it was one where you brought them the materials and then they would craft the lamp for me. But I didn't realize that you had to bring purple flowers, because I thought to get the blue lamp, which is what I was after, I had to bring blue flowers. So I spent such a long time breeding. I already had purple hyacinths. I spent such a long time breeding blue so that I could sign up for the trade. Went all the way to that island with blue hyacinths, only for them to be like, oh, you needed purple. But they were very sweet and they still crafted me some, just like out of their goodness of their heart or whatever. But yeah, it was embarrassing and I felt bad. I think I gave them some Nook Mile tickets or something, but yeah, that's my story about hyacinth lamps. Oh, the build is so nearly done. I just need to add my flowers in still. Also, do you all see the book code? Isn't it so nice? I really like that one, and because my whole theme is a storybook, I think it fits very nicely. Even if there's not that much space left on the build, I still want to make sure that it's all filled in because I feel like I've gone for a very jumbled up, kind of busy build today, so I don't want it to look blank over in this section. I'm just trying to add in custom designs wherever I've got little gaps, some weeds as well, and then a bit more fencing should hopefully help fill in some of that space. And I think we are done, so are we ready to come on the final walkthrough? We would start out with my beekeeping area and then coming down into the bistro little cafe section. And then up we've got my swinging bench and then just kind of a little resting area. So I think that is it for today. I really hope that you guys all enjoyed this build. If you did, please consider leaving me a like and a comment, and I will see you all next time. Bye!